you have an obvious scapegoat, certainly on social media. Andre Onana is 100% responsible for the
second goal.
The
The first one already a little bit, but yeah.
The first one possibly. Sorry, I'm blanking.
The first one is when the ball goes next to the wall where the two Galatasaray players.
Although equally, how does the ball get through the? I assumed it was deflected at first, and he only sees it at the last minute.
No. So the two Galatasaray players were next to the United wall, so it doesn't go through the wall. It goes where the Galatasaray players were, and then they move out of the way.
Right.
But that's the side where Onana has to. So you put a wall for a reason.
Yeah, because
and then you're on the other side.
The near side, and no,
he gets still beaten.
Of course. So
the second one is the big.
He's the evidence scapegoat in this whole thing. He also made a huge save at the beginning of the match when it was 0-0 or 1-0 actually, I think.
Yeah.
And this is where inevitably, we're talking about goalkeepers. Most people are not goalkeepers. Most people didn't even play goalkeepers as kids. Goalkeepers in general, and we work with Shaka Hislop, who's very erudite about it. They can give some insight into goalkeeper mentality. One thing I've realized is that a lot of goalkeepers are very, very different among themselves. When I look at a mistake like this from Onana, especially the one on the first free kick, on the first goal, where he dives, like the technique seems to be completely wrong. It's not.
The volleyball one?
Yeah,
that's the second one. Yeah,
the second one. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Again, not a goalkeeper.
Does he see it late? Maybe I don't know. Again,
but even if you see it late, like if you're trying, I thought maybe it bounced and skidded, but it didn't.
No.
It literally bounces off him. You're not going to save it with one hand. There's no reason for you to do that. So this is obviously a mental error.
Yeah, I think he's lost a lot of confidence compared to last season, where 100% the Inter defense of last season was a much stronger defense than what we see now with the Maguire, with Evans, with Lindelof, those players. So I understand that. It's certainly... It's a no-brainer that it's probably easier to defend, to be a goalkeeper behind a very strong defense than against a leaky one. I get that, of course. But there's still clearly an issue. And also, Gabi, every time it looks like he's turned a corner and we all think, okay, he's going to be better now. So the Copenhagen penalty save, for example. After that, we thought, okay, maybe things are going to change. It's going to be that confidence, the boost, etc. In the league, they haven't conceded for the last 3 games. I think he's got the more clean sheets as a goalkeeper in the Premier League or something like that.
Mark Ogden were here. Mark Ogden, of course, as you know, is not David De Gea's biggest fan.
No.
He would say all those years that David De Gea stands there at the... I have these pictures sheeted in my mind of him, goofy, getting his stupid Golden Gloves award, right? He would say the number of clean sheets is the most meaningless stat in football.
Yes, but not really. But where I feel the most, and maybe that's also part of the reason why on his line he's not very assured anymore, Onana, is the sense that what also probably would give him a lot of confidence is being good with the ball at his feet and be part of the build the play from a United point of view, play out from the back, have that kind of responsibilities, which I think he likes. And I think we all agree that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world in terms of distribution. And yet, every time he's on the ball, all clearly is asked of him is to hoof the ball forward.
As opposed to passing the ball to Harry Maguire, who's being pressed by an opponent.
It doesn't matter. There's no structure. There is no structure to beat the press of an opposition team. So you've got Onana, one of the best goalkeepers to do that, and yet you put nothing in place to actually use his strength in distribution.
See, I wouldn't fault Den Haag for that side
really?
of
Why?
things so much. For the reasons I said, is that you have Harry Maguire, who I think, back in the day is actually reasonable on the ball, but right now you assume there's got to be some fragility there.
Acerbi is a better ball-playing centre-back than him? No, but is Darmian better than Lindelof? No, so why? No,
Darmian is a lot better on the ball than Lindelof.
Not a lot better. But
He's substantially better than
Onana did it with Acerbi and Darmian. Why, he can't do it with Varane and Maguire?
He had 3 of them. He had Bastoni too.
Yeah, okay, no. So Bastoni is probably the best of all of them, technically. But don't tell me that it's not just the players you have around you.
I think it's
the right structure.
No, of course.
They can all play football.
Okay, fine. But the guy, again, I don't want to sound like a Ten Hag apologist here, right? But I appreciate with the structure and whatever else, but I go back to the same thing. These are things that you have to work on. So presumably he worked on preseason on a defense that had Lisandro in there, who's not there, right? And then all of a sudden there's all these other adjustments. And he can't adjust and work on it on the fly because United are in all these different competitions and maybe he's not as efficient. Maybe the players aren't as smart. Maybe guys get injured. I think that's I think it's the least of it. What I find interesting about Onana is I don't think his mistakes are technical mistakes. So when people talk about Onana not being good enough, right? When we talk about that, we talk about goalkeeper's positioning.
Yeah.
We talk about, Courtois with the long arms and the reflexes. That is the technical side of it, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't see Onana making technical mistakes because obviously he looks goofy with that save there, but that's not a technical error. That's just because that's beyond the pale, right? I see mental mistakes, and this is where I become really uncomfortable. And I really don't know
But where's
what to
that
say.
coming from then?
Because I hate playing pop psychology with the goalkeeper's mentality. All I can say is this is a big ask on United's goalkeeping coach, on Onana himself, the people around him, to go and figure this out. Because, Onana probably isn't as good a goalkeeper as Courtois or Alisson, whoever you think the best in the world are, right?
Yeah.
And maybe overachieved and played out of his skin in the Champions League late last year and on Inter's run. But he's also not technically bad, and these mistakes are not technical mistakes. Maybe it is a confidence thing. I just find it very unsatisfying because I feel like you can just chuck out the word confidence in psychology, and it's like a catch-all explanation for everything.
Yeah,
I genuinely don't know. I'm holding my hands up.
You know a lot of players well enough to know that whatever your position, that confidence factor is one, and maybe that second goal with the Ziyech one in a season where he felt strong and confident like last season with Inter, maybe he would have gone down quicker, I don't know, and get there with the two hands instead of trying to play beach volley or something like that. I don't know what he was trying to do. I just don't know. I wonder, the Icardi one, like we saw against Forest at Old Trafford when Awoniyi sits him down, Icardi sits him down again.
Yeah.
That dummy is down. He's down so quickly.
And by the way, Icardi, he's got a lot of skills, but that's not even...
Yeah, it's not Ronaldo. It's not Ronaldo the Brazilian either,
Exactly.
So, I don't know.